Good evening po. Um, for the task 1, yung initial configuration of network devices po is, in this task, I configure each router and switch with appropriate hostname, which is naka-indicate po dito, and secure password using the CLI. And I applied basic security settings by setting console and privilege mode passwords and enabling password encryption. Next po, I configure the IP address for each router interface, switch VLAN interface, and PC according to the provided addressing table. And I also set the default gateway for the switches, which is, makikita nyo po dito. Yan po. May mga gateway na po yan. Na-indicate na pong gateway yan. Then I also set the default gateways and for the switches and PCs to ensure basic communication and connectivity within the same network. And for the task 2, VLAN and trunking configuration. I create 3 VLANs on switches S1, switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3. VLAN 10 for marketing, VLAN 20 for accounting, and VLAN 30 for IT. Ito po dito sa mga switches. I assigned up the appropriate ports on S2 and S3 to the corresponding VLANs based on the devices connected. Then I configure trunk ports on the switch connection to enable VLAN information to pass between switches. This setup allows separation of network traffic by the department while still enabling inter-switch communication. Task 3, inter-VLAN routing configuration. On router 1, I enable the GIO interface and created sub-interfaces for each VLAN. And GIO 10, GIO 20, and GIO 30, I applied the OT1Q encapsulation for each sub-interface and assigned them their respective IP addresses based on the addressing table. This configuration allows R1 to route traffic between VLANs, enabling devices from different VLANs to communicate with one another. Task 4. I configure the EIGRP routing protocol on R1 and R2 using AS number 44 and disable auto summary to allow proper route advertisement across discontiguous subnets. I use the network command to include all directly connected networks. For routers R2, R3, and R4, I set up static routes using the exit interfaces to define paths to network not directly connected. This ensures all routers have route knowledge to reach every other network. And for the last task 5, connectivity testing and verification. I tested the network by using the ping command. First, I ensured the router R1 could reach R2, R3, and R4. Then I verified all end devices within the network could communicate with each other, regardless of their VLAN or router segment. Successful ping confirms that VLANs inter-VLAN routing and routing protocols were configured correctly and network was fully operational end-to-end. And that's all. Magandang gabi and thank you.